Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be an exciting one because it's going to be a video that I haven't done before but I have wanted to do for quite a while now. But as you will have guessed by the title of this video, I'm going to be sharing some books that I really want to read and really hope I can read during 2021. So the first book I've got to share with you is the book that I'm currently reading right now actually. It is the Me Before You book. I really hope I can read all 3 books this year. Hopefully that's something that I can achieve because these books have been sitting on my shelf for years. I'm sure you will have heard of Me Before You before because it is a popular book, popular trilogy, and there's also a film that's been done which I have watched, and that's what made me interested in reading the books. So yeah, I absolutely adore the film, and so far I'm absolutely loving this book. But yeah, that's the first book, and then obviously the second book that I would absolutely love to read is After You. This follows on from Me Before You, and then there's also a third book called Still Me, I believe. I don't have that one, but I would love to read this book throughout 2021. I don't know much about this book because I don't want to get it spoiled for me. Obviously I'm going to be reading this one, so I might as well read the second book as well. The next books that I would absolutely love to read during 2021 are the One of Us is Lying and One of Us is Next books. These go hand in hand and they follow along from each other. This one is the first book and then this one is the second one. These are like a murder mystery thriller kind of novels. I've really gotten into that the past like couple of years. I'm starting to delve more into like the thriller kind of mystery novels, and I've heard really good things about these books. It's about like obviously a murder that's happened, and there's 5 students involved, and I think they kind of have to figure out like who's behind the murder. It says that everyone has secrets, so I'm sure that things are going to come out and it's not going to make them look very good. They're probably going to all seem guilty of committing the murder. This one says that it's another year, another drama, a whole new set of rules. So I'm assuming something else is going to happen. Maybe more secrets are going to come out. Maybe there's like another kind of murder or incident that happens and they are all kind of tied up in it. The next book is actually a Disney one, and it's actually in a series again. I feel like I'm kind of getting into the series this year. I've not read a lot of series books. I cannot wait to read this one. This one is also high up on my list to read. It is the Mistress of All Evil book. This is part of the Villains series. I think there's 7 or 8 books in this series, so it is a long series, but I'm really excited to read them all. Obviously I'm not going to be able to read them all this year, but I at least want to start this one. And obviously it is for Maleficent. She is one of my favourite villains, so I'm really excited to read this book. It says, what of the dark fairy Maleficent? Why does she curse the princess to fall into the eternal sleep? And it's not that big of a book either, so I feel like I can read it pretty quickly. The next book is also a Disney book. It is part of the Disney Twisted Tales series. If you haven't watched my videos before, I have been going on about the Disney Twisted Tales books for quite a while. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I have been reading them. If you are a Disney fan, you will absolutely love these books. And this one is one that I haven't read. It is called Straight On Till Morning, and it is the twist on the Peter Pan storyline. Centers around what if Wendy went to Netherland with Captain Hook, which is obviously quite a different story to the original storyline. I have read all of them apart from 3, so I have this one, then I also have On Birthday, which obviously centers around Alice in Wonderland, and that kind of question is, what if Wonderland was in peril and Alice was very, very late? And then the third Disney Twisted Tales book that I haven't read but I would love to read this year is called So This Is Love, which is a twist on the Cinderella story, and that book centers around the question, what if Cinderella never tried on the glass slipper? Yeah, I want to start off with this one, and then if I can read the Cinderella Cinderella one and the Alice in Wonderland one. By the end of this year, that will just be amazing. I have some books that I actually discovered on Goodreads that are actually coming out this year that I'm really excited about because they sound really good. So the first one is You Have a Match by Emma Lord, and this basically is like a friendship, romance, sisterhood type of novel, and it basically involves a character called Abby, and she, I think, gets like a DNA test, but then it reveals that she has a secret sister that she wasn't expecting, and she's like the complete opposite to what Abby is. So there's this Leo character, and Abby, I'm assuming, grows more like feelings for him whilst they're at this camp, because Leo is the camp's co-chef. The parents have a secret that threatens to unravel everything, but part of life is showing up, leaning in and learning to fit all your awkward pieces together, but sometimes the hardest things can also be the best ones. So I'm assuming it's quite like of an awkward kind of book, which I love because I too can be very awkward and shy. So yeah, so I'm assuming it's about her like discovering her secret sister, and then obviously trying to get to know her even though they are complete opposite ends of the spectrum, and then trying to figure out like how she feels for Leo. I hope I can get my hands on it this year and give it a little read because it does sound really good. And then the second book that is releasing this year is called The Lucky Escape by Laura Jane Williams. She did the book called Hour Stop. I have read Hour Stop, I read it last year and I absolutely fell in love with it, and then I saw that she is bringing out another book this year, so I've added this to my list of ones to read, and it's about a woman called Annie who is about to marry Alexander, but then he actually leaves her standing at the altar, and then it also says one unexpected encounter after a chance meeting with Patrick, an old friend who reminds her of who she used to be. Annie takes a vow of her own. She'll say yes to every opportunity that comes her way from now on. And then one spare ticket for a honeymoon. Could the spontaneous trip with Patrick be a way to mend Annie's heart? She's about to find out how she embarks on her honeymoon with a man who's not her husband. The next one that is also coming out in 2021 is called The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. She did the Flatshare book, which is also on my read list. Everyone has probably read Flatshare by now, but I haven't read it and I absolutely need to. Like, it just seems so amazing. So this is basically about a road trip. Two sisters go to their friend's wedding in the north of Scotland. But then they have an accident, and a car slams into the back of theirs. The driver is one of the main character's ex, who she's like avoided, and they were actually heading to the wedding too, but then they obviously have to kind of come together and ride together and do the trip together to make it to the wedding. Will they make it to the wedding on time, and more importantly, is this really the end of the road for Addie and Dylan? So yeah, I'm excited to read that one. I have heard great things about this author because of Flatshare. A lot of people enjoyed that book, so I'm assuming this book is going to be really good as well. The next one is called Little Fires Everywhere. I have actually watched the TV show. It's on Amazon Prime if you live in the UK, and I highly recommend watching the TV show. It's so good. It definitely gives me like Big Little Lies vibes, which I absolutely adored. I've read Big Little Lies and I also watched the TV show, and I absolutely fell in love with both of them. And I thought that now I've finished the TV show, I should read the book. Probably should have done it the other way around, but yeah, I am really excited to read this book. I want to see if it's going to be like any different or, you know, similar to the TV show. And it's basically about like this kind of perfect town. Everyone has like the perfect family, but then two characters come into it, a mother and a daughter, and they basically arrive in this kind of perfect bubble of a town, and they are like completely different to everyone else in the town. Basically about how they kind of struggle to like fit into the town, but also kind of how they like make it their own in a way, and they kind of go against the norms of the town. and what the kind of perfect family has to be. And there's a lot of like suspense in it, if it's anything like the TV show, which I'm sure it will be. There's a lot of suspense, kind of mystery elements to it, a lot of like secrets as well that kind of crop up throughout the course of it. And the book just seems so good from what I've read, from like what other people have said, and from the blurb and everything. And of course I've seen the TV show, so I have to read the book now. So this again is one that I absolutely need to read during 2021. The next book that I want to read is called So You Want to Talk About Race. This basically explores the racial kind of complex that America and the world are facing right now, and it basically explores different kind of topics and talking points about like white privilege, police brutality, the systemic discrimination, and of course the Black Lives Matter movement. It's definitely something that I want to learn more about. I want to be more educated, and I feel like this book will definitely do it. I've heard a lot of great things about this book, and I actually read a preview on my Kindle not too long ago of this book. I was really intrigued by it and I just wanted to read more. I just wanted to know more. The next two books that I want to read are actually ones that I have partly read in the past. So I started reading Fangirl a couple of years ago now, and I still have the page marked at where I was. I was so close to finishing. Like, I had that much left to finish and I really did like it. So that is also one that I want to go back to this year. And then this one is called The Girl on the Train. I read like 2 chapters. Yeah, I definitely want to reread this, pick this back up again, because I've heard such great things about it. And then the final 2 books I would love to read this year are actually non-fiction books again. One of them is called Creating Magic, and if you couldn't guess by the title, it is a like Disney non-fiction book. It basically talks about like the Walt Disney World Resort and how that was run, and it's actually written by Lee Cockerwell, who was actually the person who ran the operations for the Walt Disney Resort. So he like knows the ins and outs about Walt Disney World, so I think it's going to be a really good read. I have read some of the reviews and they say it's really good. And it says at the bottom as well, Creating Magic shows all of us, from small business owners to managers at every level, how to become better leaders by infusing quality, character, courage, enthusiasm and integrity into our workplace and into our lives. Yeah, I'm really intrigued to know more about the Walt Disney Company, you know, as a company, and also about the parks and how the parks are run and stuff like that. And then the final book that I have got to share with you is by Bob Iger, and he wrote a book basically, you know, talking about his whole life and the Walt Disney Company and how it runs and how he ran it, and all of the kind of, I'm assuming, struggles and everything that he's had to go through. It's called A Ride of a Lifetime. Yeah, it says that he shares the values and ideas he has used to reinvent one of the most beloved companies in the world and inspire the people who brought it back to life. He also shares the lessons he's learned while running Disney and its leading 200,000 employees, taking big risks in the face of historic distribution, learning to inspire people who work for you, leading with fairness and communicating principles clearly. So that was a lot, quite a lot of books that I've mentioned in this video. I really hope I can read all of them, or at least a majority of them this year. Definitely follow me on Instagram because I like posting my kind of progress with books on there, and also on Goodreads as well. I will put all of my links like to social media and everything down below. Let me know down below if you have read any of these books, or if these books are ones that you want to read this year. I would love to know like more recommendations. Yeah, let me know down below like your recommendations if you have any. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this from me. Make sure to give this video a little cheeky thumbs up as well if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!